Let's talk about the teasers for Sister Wives Season 19, Episode 6, and I also have some hilarious and crazy updates at the end of this video. So let's get into it, shall we? The Episode 6 description says, "The Browns spend Christmas apart. Christine talks with her kids about her new boyfriend, David. In a heated sit-down, Kody blames Meri for their divorce. Janelle wants to settle the property dispute with Kody and move on." And so we naturally know that the major scene of this whole episode is going to be the sit down, the standoff between Meri and Kody, the big scene we've basically been waiting for where Meri finally snaps at Kody. So happy to see that Meri is just finally fighting back and not playing so nice. She must have, at this point, seen the confessionals. Kody, as usual, is being a douche. In the teaser, Cody's like, "Where we are now is, I actually like you. So figure that. Please, Kody, please." He says, "I didn't for 6 years." That is just so sad for Meri, because Meri still had hope for their marriage like 3 months before this. So she would have been waiting forever, but she just had no idea. Meri says, "I'm not going to hang out at Christmas. I'm not your wife anymore." And Kody says, "I have a wife that says Meri is family and she needs to be there at Christmas." He says, "I normally disregard her opinion," and Meri just can't help but laughs and says, "That's not true." Kody struggles to define what they are now, him and Meri. I don't know. Did he want to go for friends after saying all that stuff about her? Meri's like, "We're exes." The teaser concludes with Meri saying she wishes he knew how much of an amazing person she was. And here we have a critical mistake. Never go back to an ex and try to convince them that you're a great person. It's just never gonna work. It's a tale as old as time. Meri should not be going after that validation. After all, she knows she's amazing. She does not need Kody to say that. I'm pretty sure Meri could go after spousal support or something at this point. She'd be better off just doing that rather than trying to convince Kody that she's so great. Either way, off to the next teaser. Next, Christine is trying to basically sell to her kids the whole idea of her and David. They're just moving super fast, so she's having a sit-down conversation with them, and Aspen is there, and honestly, Aspen can be a hard sell sometimes. So Christine says, "I'm 50 and I've dated enough guys to know what I'm looking for." McKelty is not looking too enthusiastic in this shot, but Tony is like, "You have?" Like, real point though from Tony, because how many guys has she dated? I thought that Kody was her one and only, sort of. And everyone's looking at her like, "How many guys?" And she says 8. Tony's like, "That's not even double digits." And we also find out that Mitch and Truly like David, which is a big win for David. And Tony, who cannot control himself, obviously has no filter, and we kind of love that. Well, he goes on a rant about how David reminds him of Kody because of the boomer stuff he says. He's like, "Oh, he's totally a boomer." Janelle and Christine specify, we're not boomers. I think they're right at the line, by the way. They're almost there. But David ends up, he actually is a boomer. He's a boomer, guys. David is like 8 years older than Christine. So it's a hilarious little scene where they talk about boomers, and they kind of talk about it like being boomer is a bad thing. But it's just a generation. Let's not bash an entire generation here. And now let's move on to something crazy I found on Reddit about, remember the adoption for Brianna, Dayton, and Aurora? We were fed this story about how Meri had to selflessly divorce Kody so he could marry Robin for the sake of the kids being adopted. Well, a family lawyer reviewed things and said this: This show has become my annoying stress reliever. I'm a family law attorney, not in Nevada, Arizona, Utah, or Wyoming. The adoption episodes didn't pass the sniff test with me. Some of the explanations for the divorce, natural father's consent, and references to child support didn't hold water. Then I dug into Nevada's adoption code, and behold, it said, a married person not lawfully separated from his or her spouse may not adopt a child without the consent of his or her spouse. There you have it. Meri could have filed her consent in the adoption along with the natural fathers, and it would have been done. No divorce required. I mean, well, what a tangled web we weave. Is it possible that Kody guilted Meri into doing this so that he could just marry Robin, the one he really loves? Was it not about the kids all along? Was this a huge manipulation? I have no idea. I'm not sure, but this is making my wheels spin. And in an update, literally from today, that goes along pretty well with this week's episode 6, Meri threw shade at Kody via an Instagram reel where she gave Zona, her dog, the Fidelis or loyalty necklace that Kody had infamously made for her through My Sister Wives Closet. And that's just hilarious, honestly. Also, it just goes to show he gave Meri that because he said that she was basically the most loyal, and he's called out her loyalty a bunch of times. I mean, there was the catfish, so yeah. In the caption, she had said, "My sweet Zona, the best travel buddy, gives the best cuddles, makes me laugh and smile on the daily. I haven't even had her for a year yet, and I can hardly remember a time without her. I'm so lucky to have a loving and loyal companion in her." And then obviously, yeah, fans loved this post. It was definitely a hit. And then she actually posted a reel commemorating that, and she captioned, "Very loyal, very demure. Miss Zona definitely deserves one too. Hashtag worthy up." And honestly, this made me laugh out loud, so all good things. I definitely feel like Meri's going for the comedy angle and the shade angle on her Instagram lately, and I am here for it. So let's see what episode 6 has in store for us. Hopefully not a snooze fest. There is a pretty major scene, so I think we're going to be entertained. Right, guys? Let me know what you think of the season so far in the comments. Have you been watching? Have you been just watching recaps? Leave me a comment below. Bye, guys!